Now it's 9 o'clock. All right, I will stay here. Good? Is my microphone working? Good, ready?
Yeah.
All righty, good morning again, everybody. Thanks for coming. First of all, I know I bribed you all with coffee to be here, which is fine. Even Eddie made it out this morning, so I'm impressed. We have my special guest, Diana, over there. But anyway, I'm really excited to give this presentation, you guys. It's something that I feel very strongly about, being that I am trying to put you guys in the best possible situation for your future. So this presentation is all about the battle that is silently going on for you all right now. So whether you know it or not, you're currently fighting aging right now. And I want to put you in the best position to go forward from here. So here's my presentation presented by yours truly. I've asked this question. Thank you, thank you. Please hold your applause to the end. I've been asking this question to a lot of you this week. And I want you to think long and hard for about a second. So what do you want your life to look like in 20 years from now? First, think about how old you are. Eddie, it's all right. But again, 20 years is not that far away. So let's think. How old are you going to be? What are you going to look like? Who is around you? Who's with you? What do you want to be able to do still? Are you healthy? Are you pain-free? Are you moving around? Are you still doing all the things you're doing now? So again, picture what you want that next 20 years to look like and keep that in mind. Hopefully, none of you imagine this. My mom sent this to me last night. It says, one day you're young, the next day you're sitting like this at the end of your bed with a bad shoulder, bad knee, and sciatica. So hopefully you guys are thinking something more like this. Oh yeah, I know you were all picturing that. Or maybe you were picturing something like this. Ooh, hopefully it goes. Oh yeah, that's my girl right over there, Diana. What are you, like 32 now? I know, these were easy. Awesome, so keeping that in mind, why am I giving this presentation? According to data from 2022, average lifespan is 77 years. That's pretty low. It's getting lower, actually. The average health span is 66 years. Then that leaves us with an 11.4-year gap, which is characterized by disease, pain, suffering, and guess what? Average age of retirement is 64. So those last golden years of your life that are supposed to be joyous and happy and filled with all this excitement is actually most likely going to be filled with chronic disease and terrible things, medication, not a lot of fun. I know, this is pretty depressing, right? It gets better, it gets better. I know, right? Anyway, we're reviewing today the discrepancy between how long we live and how long we live well. And we want to extend that for you guys for as long as possible. So let's review the difference. Lifespan, the total amount of years you live. Health span, how many of those years you live healthy and disease-free. So again, two things you could end up in the future. This is World War III. Whether you know it or not, it's you versus yourself. Present you versus future you. So we're going to go over our battle plan today. I had to make this army related. I just had to. So we're going to know the facts. What are the risk factors? Who's around you? Who's in your army? We're going to go over our attack strategy, our defense strategy, fight or flight, which I've been talking about a little bit with everyone, and then what can we do today to start this. So the facts. Leading cause of death, according to 2022, heart disease, cancer, accidents, which does include falls, which we all know we're at higher risk of as we get older. COVID, can't forget about that one. Stroke, respiratory diseases, Alzheimer's, diabetes, chronic liver disease, fun stuff, right? Now, here's our chronic conditions facts. So, hypertension, high cholesterol, obesity. A lot of you guys in this room are already suffering from one of these. And according to research, 95% of adults 60 or older will have one of these conditions. And even more shocking, 80% will have at least 2 conditions after the age of 60. Fun. I know, this is a really fun presentation. All right, what are the risk factors? Obviously, use of alcohol and tobacco, no bueno. Unhealthy diets, again, things that lack protein, things that are very carb heavy, lots of processed foods. Having a high body fat percentage puts you at higher risk. Insufficient physical activity, which none of you in this room are doing, so great job, you already got 1 down. There's social determinants. If you're living in an area of poverty, if you have limited access to education and access to healthy food, access to personal trainers, all that. And then there's also the idea of being socially connected. Those of us that are in a great support group, we have lots of friends, lots of family around us supporting us. You guys are going to be more likely to make better choices, have better lifestyles, so we can't let that be out of our minds. And this quote I took from University of Vermont Health, 20% of how long we live is dictated by your genes, 80% is dictated by your lifestyle. So basically, we have a large amount of control as to what the next 20 years of our lives can look like. So just keep that in mind. All right, we're building your armies around you. We got our officers, your top people in the game. Generals, that's you people. Lieutenant General, that's me, baby. I can't even take myself seriously. Major General, that's your partner in crime. Who's next to you making all those decisions with you? Then we have our warrant officers. These are more your technical experts. These are your doctors, your nutritionists, your physical therapists, anyone else that's helping you out in this game that has some sort of expertise to keep you in the game longer. And then we have our enlisted officers. Those are your family members, your peers, your gym community, anyone who's helping you stay on track and helping you keep your mission accomplished. All right, this page is not very fun, I gotta say. It's pretty depressing, so keep that in mind. But the importance of having your partner be on the same page as you. So you guys will hopefully end up something like this. These are my clients that I've been training for a few years now. They wear the same outfit. They do everything exactly the same. They're basically the same person. And they are up there in the numbers, which I've been told not to disclose. So, but here's your scenarios for how this can work out. 20 years from now, scenario 1, this is the best one. Both partners are active. You're focused on living a long, healthy life. You increase your health span by 5 to 10 years. That's an extra 5 to 10 years in the bank. You get to play with the grandkids. You're traveling. You're pickleballing it up. Limited to no suffering of chronic diseases. You're living relatively pain-free. You're able to be independent up until those last years. Sounds pretty good, right? Sounds like the obvious choice. Then there is scenario number 2. Partner 1 stays active, increases their health span by many years. Partner 2 does not. They develop chronic diseases. Now they're relying entirely on partner 1 for support. Partner 1 can now no longer do the activities they love to. They can't do activities together anymore. And now partner 1 spends all their hard-earned extra health span years taking care of partner 2 and watching them suffer. And then eventually partner 2 dies early and partner 1 is left alone. I know it's pretty bleak out here, pretty bleak. Again, number 1 is the obvious choice here. Then there's scenario number 3. Both partners disregard your health. You basically have a very short health span, and now the rest of your life is filled with doctor's appointments, medications, missed family events, dependence on other family members. Eventually you guys move into assisted living, and you play cards maybe once a week. Ooh. And then you both die relatively early, and you suffered for the last few years of your life. And again, I can make jokes of it because I'm young. I can. It's true. However, this is the reality of our situation. 20 years is not that far away. So it's time to figure out what we need to do now to ensure we end up like scenario number 1. All right, let's get to the fun stuff, all right? Plan of attack, movement. It is the best thing for everybody. We're suggesting 2 to 4 days a week of strength training, total body strength training, 1 to 2 days a week of conditioning, 7,000 steps of movement daily. Again, we can't just do here in the gym and then go sit at home and work from your desk from 9 to 5 and do nothing else. It's not enough. Even though you guys work really hard in here, it's just not enough. And then we have to ensure that we're moving in all planes of motion. So a lot of our life is just in front to back. But we need to make sure we're going side to side, diagonally, rotationally, because that's going to give your brain some good brain candy is what I like to call it. Anytime you're moving differently than you normally do, it's building new neural pathways in your brain. That's what keeps you young and healthy. It's also going to help prevent injuries, because again, if I'm living my life here, all of a sudden a car comes near me and I might get hit and I go to step laterally, I'm going to die, most likely. All right. I know. Again, this is not a fun presentation. All right, we got to prioritize our body's needs. This has been a big conversation for our challenge coming up this week. Taking care of yourselves. I know all of you out here are givers and you put everybody else first. Guess what? Forget about everybody else for a second. My job is to make sure you guys are all taking care of yourselves first, because if you can't take care of yourself, how are you going to take care of everyone else around you? So prioritizing your needs physically, mentally, and emotionally. And then the most important part, actually listening and doing something about it. So again, you can be aware all you want, but if you don't do anything about it, where's that going to get us? All right, building your army again. We're going back to that for a second. Make sure it's people with similar values. Otherwise, those people are just going to bring you back down. Because if you want to live your life nice and healthy, partner wants to go out every weekend and drink alcohol and eat all this food, what are you eventually going to do also? All right, and then our last one, taking care of the basics. Everybody likes to ask me about those advanced nutrition questions. And then my response is, are you drinking enough water? Are you eating enough food? Did you go to sleep last night on time? Again, the basics will always come first. If you can't nail the basics, don't ask me about what sort of pre-workout you should be taking. And again, the basics being protein intake, getting fruits, vegetables, complex carbs, fibers, fats into your diet, limiting the ultra-processed foods, getting enough rest, getting enough sleep, all that. And again, training at AMP, we take care of a lot of things here, I can't lie. I'm a big brain up here, I got it figured out for you guys, so I can't lie. We're strength training to improve your body composition. Again, keeping that body fat percentage low, keeping the muscle high, body fat low. We're strength training also to improve bone density, movement efficiency, and reducing injuries. That's our goal when you guys come to train here. We supplement that with conditioning, because you still need to do cardio work to improve your cardiovascular system. That's what keeps you living long. So strength training for quality of life, conditioning for longevity of life. And again, we're focusing on functional movements. We're not bodybuilders in here. Bodybuilders, if you've ever seen them, they don't move very well. They're going to get hit by the car first, I got to say. But you guys move in all different directions. We train in all different planes of motions. We move fast, we go slow, we go medium. You guys are ready for life. And again, we go through our power circuit. That's probably the most important part of your workout, whether you know it or not. As we age, we lose power twice as fast. Twice as fast. So again, I need to step out of the way quick. I'm either going to do it quick or I'm going to do it like this. And I'm going to hurt myself anyway. So again, power circuits to improve coordination. When we're doing our speed and agility ladders, how many of you have to go like this? Yeah, exactly. Brain candy. Movement, accelerating and decelerating. Again, one of the biggest reasons people get hurt is just stepping off the curb. They can't control their motion. They can't accelerate and decelerate. They can't absorb force. Again, everything we're doing is to set you guys up for success. We have a great community of people We're building social connectedness in here. How many of you guys have made a friend here? Yeah, all your hands should be up, you liars. We're not friends though, don't get that wrong. All right, and again, our coaches are focused on continuing education. We are out there learning everything that's out there for you guys. We're not just sitting around living in the past. We want to make sure we are taking you guys forward with everything. So yeah, AMP is pretty great, I gotta say. All right, our defense strategy, stress management, my favorite. This was a great conversation I had all week long. It was basically who's more in favor of the rest and digest mode and who's maybe leaning a little bit more towards fight or flight mode. So there's two modes our nervous system can be in. Again, rest and digest being you're calm, you're cool, you're collected, everything's processing normally, we're good. Then there's fight or flight mode. Your body suspects there's danger. All of a sudden our hormones are going all over the place. There's cortisol in our body. And in the short term, that's okay. Short-term cortisol, it's good actually. Now long-term cortisol we'll get into, but just so you know it's not great. So there's a few techniques that we are going to bring into our challenge and hopefully to the rest of you as well. Practicing mindfulness. I hope you all know who this is. You're not that old yet. Very demure, very mindful, very cutesy. Yeah, none of you look like you know what I'm talking about. So go home and ask your kids. They'll know. Physical activity, movement therapies, yoga. One thing they talked about in the seminar that we just went to a lot was Tai Chi. We're not going to do Tai Chi here, but feel free to go and do Tai Chi at home. Social support, again, building connections around here. And then there's reading, there's journaling, music, games, whatever you can do to bring yourself back down from that fight or flight mode, you figure it out, because that's very important. And then how to handle what I like to call surprise attacks. Injury. All of you are dealing with something. You're all so fun. Love you all. Everyone at AMP has some sort of injury that we have to program around. And that's fine, that's life. It happens. What we want to avoid is going into what we call the pain-fear loop. So let's say I bend down to something, I hurt my back. Now I'm scared to move, so I go to pick something up and it looks like this. Now I have knee pain. Now I'm scared to move and now I'm walking around like this. The pain-fear loop. Something's hurt, you overreact, everything else gets messed up, and now we're in a horrible cycle of more pain and more fear. So that's what we're trying to avoid. So if you've ever noticed when any of you get hurt, because it does happen, at the end of the day, it's going to happen to someone, it's going to happen to all of you at some point. My response is usually something like this. Let's take a deep breath. What are you feeling? Scale 1 to 10, where are we at? All right, let's go do some breath work over here and just bring it back down. So again, try not to let you guys overreact. Try not to let everything get out of control. Illness, again, something that's going to happen. What can we do from there? Rest, nutrition, hydration has to be on point. In here, we can lower the intensity of your exercise. I'm not trying to kill you if you're not feeling great. If you are feeling great, I am trying to kill you, but if you're not feeling great, I won't kill you. But again, illness is going to happen. We got to be ready for it. I just had laryngitis for 2 weeks. I wasn't lifting the way I normally lift, but I did what I could. That's for sure. And then work demands. I know you're all dealing with some sort of work demands. Maybe not Ed, because I don't know what Ed does during the day, actually. Stress management, super important. It's so easy to get caught up in the go, go, go of work. Even here, I forget to drink water until like 12 o'clock. Jess knows. Jess reminds me. She's like, Hannah, where's your water bottle? And it'll be back in my backpack at 1 o'clock. And I haven't touched it once. So again, not letting work control what we need to prioritize, which is ourselves at the end of the day. And balancing the buckets I talked a lot about. Maybe work is overflowing 1 week, social's a little bit low. What can we do to balance those buckets again? And then life events. Man, shit happens. We can't control it. There could be a family death 1 week. Maybe that week you're not coming in. That's fine, I understand. Maybe the next week you come in once a week. That's all you could handle. That's your 100%. So don't think that just doing one little thing a week or doing whatever you feel like you can manage during those life events, if that's what you got, that's 100%, that's what I'll take. So again, defense strategy, controlling what you can control in that situation. All right, I talked about fight or flight mode. Again, that's our body's response to what it thinks is stressful. And basically, it's going to heighten all of your senses. So blood pressure, not blood pressure. You're going to have increased heart rates. You're going to breathe a little bit better through your lungs. Your eyes are going to dilate so you can see better. Digestion's going to slow down. So other processes during fight or flight are going to get disrupted because your body is prioritizing survival, even though you're probably just sitting in traffic. It's not that traumatic. But again, we let ourselves go to this place, and now all of a sudden we're tense. Our chins are up here, our shoulders are up to our necks. It's not fun. So effects of long-term or chronic stress. Again, being in that fight or flight mode for too long is going to give you health issues. High blood pressure, disrupted digestive system, formation of artery clogging deposits, high inflammation, weakened immune systems. Your brain's going to start to change because now you're dealing with anxiety. Could lead to depression. Not that it will, but it could lead to depression and addiction. And then persistent high blood sugar, which could cause type 2 diabetes. So again, all you guys that are dealing with the pressures of work, pressures of life, we feel like we're all high anxiety, high stress all the time. We got to find a way to bring it back down. Very important. And hopefully we don't end up looking like this. 2007 Brittany, gotta love it. All right, wrapping up my presentation here. How do we win the war? Realize life is unpredictable. Again, we can only control so much, but you're gonna control what you can control. And starting today, you're gonna stack the odds in your favor. Build yourself up now to protect yourself long term. Thank you. I am up for questions if anybody has any. Nice, good. Go enjoy your Saturdays. I'm gonna go. Yes. Oh, I love that for you.
Very nice.
Oh, thank you.